The first 3 dates, you are the best version of yourself. Warm, charming, present, interested in him, not in where this is going. You listen when he talks. You laugh when something is funny. You ask follow-up questions. You make him feel like the most interesting person in the room. And then, slowly, over the next few months, you let him discover who you actually are. This isn't manipulation. It's pacing. And pacing is everything. Here's what you don't do in the early dates. You don't mention marriage, weddings, children, or the future. Those words are his to say first. You don't tell him what your therapist thinks about your connection. You don't share your entire healing journey, the courses, the breakthroughs, the moment everything changed. You don't announce that he's the first man who's ever treated you with respect. You don't say we need to talk in a serious voice and watch him look for the exit. You don't lead with your career wins, your childhood wounds, or your anxiety. Keep it light. Keep it warm. Keep it interesting. Talk about things that exist outside of the two of you. A show you're watching, a place you want to visit, something you read that made you think. Let the conversation breathe. Let there be mystery. And when he asks something too personal, something you're not ready to answer, you're allowed to smile and say, "I'd rather not get into that just yet." That's not cold. That's self-possession. And it's incredibly attractive. Some men will try to draw you out early. They ask deep questions, personal questions, and women often answer them fully, thinking that vulnerability will create closeness. Sometimes it does, but sometimes you share too much, too soon, and you regret it later. The closeness you were hoping to build turns into a feeling of exposure. Reveal yourself slowly. Let him earn each layer. Meet Jill. She'd been seeing someone for 6 months when she needed to buy a new bed. Her old one had broken. She went shopping alone, didn't consult him, didn't ask what size he'd prefer, didn't hint that one day they'd share it. She bought a single bed, even though she fully expected they'd be living together within the year. She bought it like a woman with no particular plans, because that's exactly the energy you want to project. The single bed ended up with his parents, but the message it sent? Priceless. Now let's talk about frequency, because this might be the rule that saves you the most heartbreak. Don't see him more than once or twice a week in the first 2 months. Men fall fast, but they also fall out of it fast. In the beginning, he'll want to see you constantly, every day if you let him. And if you do let him, something shifts. The excitement fades, the pursuit ends before it really began. Suddenly he's so busy, and you're wondering what changed. What changed is that he got too much, too soon. And what we get too easily, we stop valuing. So even when he texts after an amazing first date, asking what you're doing tomorrow, you have plans. You always have plans. You don't explain what they are. You don't invite him along. You just have a life, and he fits into it at a pace you control. First month, once a week. Second month, 2 or 3 times. Third month, 3 or 4 times. Never more than 4 or 5 times a week until you're engaged. That's the schedule. It feels slow. It is slow. That's the point. Because here's the thing about men who are serious about you. They accept the pace you set. They don't love it, but they accept it. The ones who get frustrated, who push back, who pressure you, those are the men who are in it for the thrill, not the long game. Their impatience is information. And watch out for the ones who talk about the future early. He might point to a restaurant and say that's where I want to take you next summer. He might casually mention a trip you could take together. It feels like inclusion. It feels like a sign. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's just a strategy, a way to create enough intimacy to move things faster than you're ready for. Don't let beautiful words replace consistent actions. If you follow his pace instead of setting your own, if you see him every day because he asks and you can't say no, one of 2 things happens. Either things move to physical intimacy before any real foundation is built, and he disappears. Or he stays, but slowly loses interest, and you watch it happen in real time. And watching someone fall out of love with you is one of the most painful experiences there is. Set the pace, hold the pace, let him prove, over time, through consistency, that he's serious. The man who is truly falling for you will show up week after week, date after date, for as long as it takes, because you are worth the wait. And the one who isn't willing to wait, he just told you everything you needed to know.